Every day you stay comfortable, you're one step closer to dying without ever living. We always say we'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. The comfort zone feels safe, but it's a silent prison. Days turn into months, months into years. It happens so subtly you barely even notice. The sun rises, you go through the motions, the sun sets. The rhythm of routine becomes a lullaby, singing you into a state of comfortable numbness. Each day feels identical to the last, a perfect copy of a life lived on autopilot. You tell yourself this is stability, this is security. You trade your grand ambitions for the quiet safety of the predictable. The someday you always dreamed of becomes a distant, hazy island you promise you'll sail to tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes. The comfort zone, which once felt like a sanctuary, slowly reveals itself to be a cage. A beautifully decorated cage perhaps, with soft cushions and familiar walls, but a cage nonetheless. Its bars are forged from fear, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. And you, the willing prisoner, hold the key. Yet you've forgotten it's even in your pocket. You scroll through the lives of others, seeing their adventures, their successes, their risks, and you feel a faint pang of something you can't quite name. It's the ghost of your own potential, whispering what could have been. Then, it happens. It's not a gradual dawning, it's a sudden, gut-wrenching jolt. One day, you wake up. Maybe it's a Tuesday morning. The light hits your face in a way it never has before. You catch your reflection and you don't just see an older face. You see the eyes of a stranger looking back at you filled with a quiet desperation. You see the roadmap of every compromise you ever made etched into your skin. The silence of your home is suddenly deafening, filled with the echoes of unlaughed laughter, unsung songs, and unlived adventures. And in that deafening silence, the realization hits you like a physical blow. You wasted it. You traded the vibrant, chaotic, beautiful masterpiece of the only life you had for a cheap, faded print. You stood on the sidelines and watched your own parade go by. All those dreams you tucked away for a better time, that time is now a graveyard of forgotten passions. The book you never wrote, the mountain you never climbed, the love you were too scared to pursue, they all come rushing back, not as fond memories but as indictments. You realize you haven't been living, you've just been waiting for a permission slip that was never going to arrive, and you understand with terrifying clarity that you wasted the only life you had. Every success story begins the same way. Someone stepped into discomfort. It's a universal truth, an unbreakable law of achievement. We see the polished trophies and confident smiles, but we rarely witness the messy, awkward process that made it all possible. We don't see the first draft, the failed prototype, the shaky voice in an empty room. Discomfort is the entry fee for a meaningful life. It's the friction required for fire, the pressure that creates diamonds. It's the awkwardness of the first dance step, the vulnerability of leaving a stable job to chase a dream. Your comfort zone is a beautifully decorated cage, designed to keep you safe, but ultimately, to keep you small. The real living, the real growing, happens just outside its walls, in the wild, unpredictable territory of the unknown. And in that territory, you will find pain. But you must learn to distinguish between the pain that harms and the pain that forges. There is the pain of regret, a dull, chronic ache for the chances you never took. And then, there is the pain of discipline, a sharp, clean burn that tells you you're alive and pushing your limits. This is the price of growth. It's the fire in your lungs on the last mile of a run. It's the mental exhaustion after hours of deep, focused work, wrestling with a complex problem until the solution finally clicks into place. It's the sting of honest feedback that, while difficult to hear, shows you the path to mastery. Most people spend their lives running from this kind of pain, seeking shortcuts. But there are no shortcuts to any place worth going. The pain is not an obstacle on the path, the pain the path. Alongside pain, you will meet its constant companion, fear. Fear is a primal compass, calibrated for survival in a world that no longer exists. It screams at you to avoid risk, to stay with the herd, to remain unseen. But in our modern world, what are we so afraid of? Not predators, but judgment, failure, looking foolish, not being good enough. Listen closely. That knot in your stomach, that racing heart when you're about to do something new and challenging. That is not a stop sign. It is a green light. It is a signal that you are standing on the precipice of a breakthrough. Fear is the sign you're in the right place, because your greatest potential for growth lies just on the other side of your greatest fear. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. So, how do you begin? How do you wage this war against your own instincts? You start by doing one thing every day that scares you. This isn't about reckless abandon. It's about calculated courage. It's about building the habit of leaning into the edge. Start small. Pick up the phone and make the call you've been dreading. Turn the handle on that cold shower. For 30 seconds you teach your mind that you are in control, not your fleeting feelings of comfort. When that 5 a.m. alarm rings, don't hit snooze. Swing your feet onto the floor and win the first battle of the day. These are not just isolated acts, they are reps. You are training your courage muscle. Each small act of bravery builds your tolerance for discomfort, making you stronger for the bigger challenges ahead. This is the ultimate mindset shift. You must learn to say yes to the challenge, not with resignation, but with an appetite for the struggle. See every obstacle not as a barrier, but as a test designed to make you stronger. The antidote to fear is not some mythical courage, it is action. Pure and simple. Action starves fear of its power. So move toward the fear, not away from it. Run towards the roar. Step onto that stage even if your hands are trembling. Publish that article even if you're terrified of criticism. Start that business even if failure feels possible. Because on the other side of that fear, on the other side of that discomfort, is not just success. It's a new version of you. A stronger, bolder, more authentic version who knows that the only limits that truly exist are the ones you accept for yourself. Your comfort zone is killing you. It's not a dramatic, sudden event. It's a slow, silent poison, administered in daily doses of routine and predictability. It whispers sweet lies of safety and security, promising you shelter from the storms of life. But it's not a shelter, it's a cage. A beautifully decorated, comfortable cage that you've built for yourself, one, "I'll do it tomorrow," at a time. Every time you choose the familiar path, you reinforce the bars. Every time you say no to a challenge out of fear, you thicken the walls. This isn't living. It's the slow fading of your own vibrant colors into a dull, monotonous gray. It's the death of your potential, the quiet burial of the person you were meant to become, but a part of you knows this. A flicker of defiance still burns within you, a quiet voice that whispers, "There has to be more." Today is the day you listen to that voice. Today is the day you break free. It doesn't start with an earthquake, but with a single, conscious choice, a small act of rebellion against your own inertia. It's choosing the stairs over the elevator, it's writing one sentence, it's making the call you've been avoiding, it's taking one, single, uncomfortable step into the unknown. You must start now. Not when you feel ready, because ready is a myth. Procrastination is the comfort zone's greatest ally, the architect of a future filled with regret. Your future self is watching. Imagine them, looking back through time at you in this exact moment. They are the embodiment of every dream you've ever had. Their existence, their happiness, their pride, it all hinges on the decision you make right now. They are pleading with you to be brave, to endure the temporary discomfort for a lifetime of fulfillment. Will you honor their hope? Or will you let them fade away, becoming just another ghost in a life of what-ifs? The choice is yours, the power is yours, start now.